49-year-old former Marine, longtime lifeguard, and Point Loma resident Ed Harris was sworn in as the new District 2 council member on Monday, making for a supermajority for the City Council Democrats. Councilmember Ed Harris, welcome.
Thank you.
Now, you now represent District 2, which includes Pacific Beach, south to Point Loma, Mission and Ocean Beach, Midway, Bay Park, Bayho, and Claremont. You've said you want to be an advocate for this coastline area. What do you mean by that?
I want to make sure that we have clean beaches. I want to make sure that we take care of our environment. I want to make sure that the things that we live here for remain intact, traffic stays down, stuff like that.
And you have a couple of projects specifically in mind for that?
Not so much of projects. I want to continue with the work that the former mayor is doing, but certainly infrastructure, we need to get that under control. We need to make sure that public safety and we deal with homeless issues.
You have some top concerns for your district, I understand. Can you tell me what those are, aside from the coastline?
Well, the traffic is a big deal. You know, Rosecrans has become very impacted with changes to development down there. So I want to make sure that, you know, we can live and work in a place that we can get to easily, that the ability to access the beach, access the parks, libraries, things that are important to the citizens.
I know you're just a couple days into it, but would you support the infrastructure bond as something that's come up in the City Council for paying for infrastructure?
I do support the current bond that's on there, but I'm very wary of how much we bond. Money's cheap right now, but as we look at it, we need to weigh our assets and liabilities and be very careful.
Now, you've been the lifeguard union chief for quite some time. What does that involve, and will you continue that role as you're a city council member for these next 8 months?
Now, I've fortunately been able to take an 8 to 10 month leave of absence from my position, and so I'll be concentrating solely on union and constituent issues. Excuse me.
Okay,
constituent issues in the district.
There you go.
No longer union.
Okay, no longer union, just the constituents. I know that, you know, the City Council is supposed to be nonpartisan making their decisions, but you as a Democrat certainly tip it in a supermajority, as we mentioned. What is your stand on the proposal to increase San Diego's minimum wage?
I support increasing the minimum wage, but I support it in a way that is fiscally responsible. So somewhere above the state level, we need to bring that. Where that number is hasn't been proposed yet, and so there's studies on both sides what that does to job growth. Both of them have their opinions. What we want is to make something that's manageable, but still takes care of the middle class, which is a big goal of mine.
So many people in San Diego know you as a lifeguard and on TV, giving lots of comments on that. How has being a lifeguard for so many years actually prepared you for this role?
Well, I see it. What most people don't understand is that when we sit in the lifeguard towers, we see everything. Even in the middle of winter, you think no one's watching you, but there's a lifeguard up there watching you. So we see the homeless issues. We see the need for police assistance on the beach. We see all the different parks and their conditions. So it's an observation issue. I've 25 years in the Coastal District as a trained observer to sit and watch and hopefully now step in and provide input.
And you've also mentioned that you have some personal life experience when it comes especially for getting things built, either the lifeguard stations or personally your home.
I do. I've done it. My wife and I had started a business called Ocean Beach Limited Partnership, and we had done some turnover, some properties, and we maintained some rentals. And so I know the private side, but I also know the frustrations on the city side. And so we need to be as efficient as the private side sometimes in how we do these building projects.
What do you think you bring to the City Council that maybe was missing, or your unique experience that you are bringing there for these 8 months?
I don't know if it's missing, but I guess I like to bring a more simple, I'm an average guy. I'm someone that has been fortunate enough to do a lot of jobs and has a great opportunity to sit in there for 8 months and bring what my neighbors tell me and what I hear at the beach and what the surfers walking up talking to me about dirty water and getting an ear infection. All those different things, that just normal conversations that I can now bring to people that have been in power and they're hungry for that information and they want to serve the public, and so do I, and so let's get that information into the pipe.
All right, San Diego City Council member Ed Harris. Well, thank you.
Thank you for having me.